Coach, you mentioned Nate Thompson in there and the joke
Yeah.
and everything. Just in the off season with the with what you guys were doing in the transfer portal and trying to improve, how big a part does he play and all that? Obviously huge, but how much do you have to kind of work with him when he hears the chatter from fans and everything?
Yeah.
Do you discuss that with him at all?
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough summer, and it hurt him. So, whenever you coach and that's your thing, and it doesn't go well, that's you get the finger pointed at you. But you know, I give the credit to the players. They're the ones who do it. They're the ones that play. They're the ones that hit, pitch, field, run. We just try to organize them, help them get better. But you got to have good players. You got to have good hitters, and then hopefully you can make them better. And that's what has gone on. We have good hitters, and they're getting better. I mean, if you talk to them, they'll tell you, that they have gotten better since they've been here. And these are guys that could hit at other schools or in high school. But yeah, I mean, our offensive coaches have done a tremendous job of training and developing guys, and then the middle part of it, as far as being a tough out, two strikes, an approach, attack, what we're doing. It's you can just see it. You can see it from the stands. I know you can. And last year, the year before, 2 years ago, we had a good team, a really good offense until we lost Josenberger and Wagner down the stretch. Lost my leadoff hitter, my three-hole hitter, and Wagner he came back, he was never the same. He had a broken thumb, and then Josenberger had a severely sprained hamstring, and he hit the last game of the year. He hit a couple home runs. I mean, but we didn't have those guys down the stretch. We just never really gelled. Last year's team, pretty average hitting team, started out okay, but we knew that when our outfield, they didn't produce. This year's outfield, they produce, and it's been fun to watch. But Nate and Bobby do a great job, and they spend a lot of time. I mean, the hours that Nate and Bobby put in watching other teams' pitchers, and it's something that you just don't see behind the scenes. But I know it's being done, and there's a lot going on that make them do the job they're doing up and above and beyond maybe a lot of guys.
Dave, we've talked a lot about what he's done offensively and even in the field with Kojal. What's his personality like? You told a really good story in there, but kind of what is he like personality-wise around the team and stuff?
So I'll tell you this. When Cam came in, I could tell that he was really uptight because I think he's a really loyal person. I think that's the way he's been raised. Parents are unbelievable. He's a big brother to all those brothers and sisters. And it didn't go good. And then he's thinking, these guys, they went and got me. I don't know if I'm going to get to play. You could just see his head spinning. And he talked with Coach Thompson. Coach brought him in, talked to him after fall ball, and then he just kept working. And then the season starts, and he doesn't start. And then we can see him getting better. In January and February, it's like, he's starting to relax. That's the guy. That's what we were thinking. So then it was like, hey, Cam, what would you think about playing first base, Coach? I called him. I already had the glove sitting on my desk. It was already broke in. It was one that somebody else probably used a little bit. And I think I told that story. And then when I was out of the office for a couple hours, when I got back, it was gone. He got it. He just wanted to play. And, not DH. Only had one DH. And the rest is history. And he worked really hard. But his makeup is what you want as a coach. He's tough. He doesn't feel entitled. He wants to earn it. And he stayed strong and just kept working. Then he made me play him. And now it's like, why didn't I play him earlier? But, it had to evolve, and it did. And I think it's made him stronger because of what he went through.
What have been your overall thoughts on how Gage Wood's rehab?
Yeah, been really good. Gage is an extremely hard worker, and he's very serious. And, sometimes I'll try to keep it light when I see him, and, he's not really having it. He's working. And he threw a pin a couple days ago. I was actually up in the weight room, and I watched through the window. He's indoor, and it looked really good. And, I think that he's getting there. I think pain-free, and what I saw the other day, he's throwing the ball 90 miles an hour with ease, and if he makes it the next bullpen, and he's still good, I think, you get over the hump, and that's what we're hoping.
When you do bring him back, how do you envision? Do you want to give him a look on the midweek just to get him in, or do you?
Yeah.
How do you?
I don't
approach
know,
that?
man. He is a strike thrower. I mean, his bullpen the other day, everything was right around the dish. And I think what we do is we try to throw him an inning, whether it's leverage or not. I mean, he may be better than what we've got available that day, but bring him along till he gets built up. And then once he does get in there, is he going to start or close or do whatever? I think he'll do whatever. But I don't know how we'll bring him back. We do have some midweeks the next couple weeks, and maybe we give him a start and say, hey, you got 30 pitches. And then we get the next guy, or we bring him in second. I don't know, but it would just be nice to have him standing on that mound.
Does the number one ranking mean anything to you?
Yeah, it means that there's nowhere to go but backwards. It's really about it. I've never talked to the team this year about a ranking, not one time where we are in the standings. I haven't said one thing. I just tell them every day, just stay humble, keep working, and it'll all end up what you're looking to do. And whether that's individually or as a team, but I think the rankings it's good for the fans, it's good for college baseball, it's good for internet, what talk, and fun banter, whatever. And it's nice. It's respect for your program, so I appreciate that. But I'm not all about it.
Is it good for recruiting?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to hurt. I'm sure that I haven't gotten any text today from any of our recruits saying, "Hey, great coach, you ranked number one." But I'm going to send back thanks. Talk to you later. I mean, what am I going to say? Thumbs up. That means okay, don't bug me anymore. But it's definitely good for recruiting. I'd be able to say that. And now, when we play tomorrow night, Arkansas State's going to talk about it the whole way over here. How they want to knock off the number one ranked team in the country. And then when we go to Georgia, Georgia was at the same record we did going into this weekend, and then they got beat 3 times, walked off the field. So they're going to be hair on fire when we get there, trying to get back in it. And we're ranked whatever. And so you just deal with it. But I think our players, they got a good makeup about them. I don't think they get too caught up in it.
I was going to ask you, other teams, because you've got some experience with this, being ranked number one. Do you see a difference when they play you in your number one versus maybe 2 or 5 or other places?
I think maybe a little bit, just because they're thinking about their RPI and how it can help them. But really, when you get on the field, you still got to play. You got to just do it. And sometimes, you have that attitude. It might stress you a little bit, and you're not as sharp. So every time we play anybody, we get their best shot, especially midweek games. They might not have their ace going, but they're going to do everything they can to try to beat us. And we saw that a couple of weeks ago, or whatever it was, when some pretty good relievers were coming out of the pen on the other side, and we left ours down there, and it didn't work out for us.
How's Rocco?
Yeah, back's bothering him. Got some problems there, and just there's not a surgery type thing. It's just you got to rest and get it right. So he's frustrated. I feel bad for him, and he's still been a good teammate. Still very verbal. He's always verbal on the bench, and try to keep his spirits up a little bit, and maybe show him a path where he can get back.
Isn't that something he's been dealing with since the fall?
Yeah, and I think he's had it in the past, and sometimes this is what you deal with when you're recruiting. You don't know what all's going on there, and it's been a little bit of an issue. And I don't know if this is exactly the same injury, but it could be part of what's going on back there.
I might be wrong on the timing of it all, but it seems like Davlin really kind of took off this season when he eliminated that high leg kick in the box. I mean, can you talk about that tweak?
Yeah. I mean, that was something that had been being discussed. He's a good hitter, and he hit with it. I mean, he hit all fall with it. We were like, wow, this guy's really good. He's got really good hand-eye coordination, doesn't swing and miss very much. I mean, look at his stats right now. He struck out 8 or 9 times and walked 19, and that's a good stat now. But, yeah, I would say you're right, and I really like his stance now, his approach. He's still powerful. He's using the whole field with power. Been a tough out with 2 strikes, and that was probably about 10 days, 2 weeks into the season when he kind of flipped that. And it was obviously, I think it's helped.
Is the objective of that kind of leg kick when guys do it to generate more power?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know on that. You probably have to ask him, but I think he's hitting the ball just as far, just as hard without it. He's strong. He's not super big, but he's really strong.
You mentioned you like to keep it short and sweet after the games. Is that something that you learned over the years that you can't
Oh, yeah.
go on as long as maybe?
Yeah, I mean, you get a team out there and you win. That's probably the best time to get on them about stuff, because you get a team out there and you lose and you're still a little upset about the loss or mistakes. About a minute in, they're not really paying attention to you anymore. Their thoughts have moved to, my girlfriend's waiting on me, my parents are ready to go eat. I mean, yeah, you learn with experience and time, and and you kind of got to think like an 18 to a 20-year-old every now and then. What would you be saying? Oh, coach is pissed, And so whenever we win, that's the time for me to really get after them, or I wait till the next day and practice and go over things. This wasn't good. I know we won, or we're lucky, but yeah. And now, now it's a little different too, because now you always got a camera in your face after practice. You can't say what you want to say sometimes anyway.
With Dietz, are you still optimistic that he could
Yeah.
eventually return
Yeah.
this year, or is a red shirt on the table?
I mean, he redshirted last year, so this year would be a medical, or we could have medical last year. Either way, he still would have 4 years of eligibility. But no, if he can pitch, he's going to pitch. We need another left-hander. And if he got back to real close to what he was before he hurt the arm for the second time, which it was hurt in high school, it could be really a boost for us.
Back to Dowell, you were batting him leadoff in the scrimmage games. What did you see out of him that made him that ideal leadoff hitter?
He just, to me, and I think the other coach feel the same way, he looked like that guy. He looked like a leadoff guy, spark plug, tough to strike out. Maybe could irritate that starter first at bat, and had a little bit of speed. He could bunt a little bit, worked on his bunting in the fall a lot. It seemed like the right fit, and I think he really likes it.
How's Maxwell's hamstrings?
Yeah, it just got tight. He got second after that. He was out there, doing all that stuff. I'm looking at him, and I'm like, so went and got put Frazier in. And, if we would have needed him in game 2, maybe to pinch hit, but I didn't really want him running, and probably not going to play him tomorrow and get him right for the weekend.
I guess when we talked to you, the first one of these, you said Pepe kind of had a specific energy that was helping the team. He's not on the field now. Has anyone taken over that role?
He was just verbal in the field. I think Cam's pretty verbal in the field, maybe not as loud, but he's a talker. I mean, Cam's a former shortstop, football guy. He got a lot of that in him. And, so that's kind of what's going on there. Aloy's a lot more of a leader this year, verbal, and him and Sousa work great together. Brent's pretty quiet. So, you just got to kind of figure out whose roles what, and they've fallen into pretty good right now. I think they're doing a good job with it. They communicate well.
What have you seen from Arkansas State? What are you expecting to see more?
Yeah, I mean, just a little bit of video. They got a big win, I think, against Coastal yesterday. It shut them out, I think. Coastal's a ranked team, so I'm sure they're talking about that right now. I think they flew straight into here from over there instead of going to Jonesboro and busting over. I may be wrong. I think they're going to work out today at our park. So they're probably talking about, hey, we'll get us another ranked team and knock them off too. So I don't know. I always tell our guys, we try to tell them as much information we can about the other team, but we always finish with it's all about how we play and how we do. That's the only thing we can control.
You've talked a lot about just loving the makeup of this team, the mental approach. When did you start to recognize that? Was it the fall?
Oh, yeah, fall, weight room in the fall while we were playing. You could just watching the new guys going, these guys got a little bit of baseball savvy to them. They're kind of tough, and they just seem to get along and they work. The guys weren't running out of there. It was good to see. All right.
Appreciate it.
Okay.